difficult to travel internationally, especially with such a time difference, such a long flight, and such a different tournament environment, right? The louder crowds. You don't see clappers in the background of Japanese tournaments, for example.
Not.
But, you know, they're both locked and loaded with the headsets as well. So it's nothing but full focus for these two. Yoshi versus Sora. Yoshi Sora, my favorite player.
Oh my gosh, man. Definitely coming through. And this is a matchup where, you know, the airspeed on Yoshi, it might make it a little bit challenging for Sora to play in that zone that he typically likes to play in. But, you know, I have to believe that the sword, the disjoint's typically a little bit more challenging for Yoshi to deal with. So I'm very interested to see how Yoshidora is able to deal with the pressure from Kameme, and that is something we may see a lot. The double jump armor coming to get out of those neutral air loops if they are not pixel perfect.
Yeah, Kameme, though, I'd say if anyone's going to do it, it's him. He really has shown to be the Sora with the best tournament performances by miles.
I mean, yeah, not even close.
Yeah, and the precision is impressive, but what's also very impressive is how smart he is about when to cash out on the long combos instead of reaching a little bit too hard, too far for something that's not quite there. He knows when to just pop the up smash or like the Nair 3 and just cut it short.
Yeah, and something that's really interesting about Sora is he actually has very good tools for catching those overextensions, and Yoshidora just missing the position of that forward air is going to allow Kameme to take him off the top with the up B. A bit of a kill that was given away, and now Yoshidora playing from behind.
All right, let's see what he can do in this ledge trap scenario, though. Oh, Sora is so scary out of disadvantage. It almost never feels like you've got him in a bad spot. He can reset to ledge, he can stall off stage, but it doesn't matter. Yoshidora is coming for you. He'll find you.
And an absolutely great chase on the side of Yoshidora to take that stock from Kameme. Putting him at the ledge now. The double jump armor through the back air allows him to get back onto the stage, and the down air is racking on the percent. Kameme slowly fighting his way out of the corner to go, and he's been so good at just finding those opportunities, slowing down the pace when he has to, and trying to get that range up, but Yoshidora is relentless off stage.
All right, just gonna respect Kameme's recovery, let him back on, because he knows, even on stage, he can handle this Sora. Okay, gonna knock him back off with neutral air, and let's see, how are we gonna set up the ledge? Oh, just the one jab? He knew for some reason that would drop. What a genius.
He actually just let him know. He said, get back out there, we'll run it back one more time. And Kameme reverses the situation, gets Yoshidora off stage with a single hit of the back air, leads into a neutral air for Yoshidora, and almost the commitment off stage, but goes to the ledge with the down being Kameme. Once again, fighting his way back on. He has been so good at finding his way out of the corner, but calling out the neutral B allows Yoshidora to put Kameme back off stage once again.
Oh, and the egg confirms are ridiculous. I'm sure if you watch Kagaribi, you know what I'm talking about. The double egg snipes, the triple egg snipes, all the way in the top blast zones. And of course, when you can still see your opponent, it's even easier for this guy.
I mean, absolutely. And, you know, something that we have to talk about Yoshidora is how good he is at actually finding those confirms and making sure he converts off of them. Because Yoshi doesn't get the most kill opportunities of every single character and sometimes has to just convert off of a raw smash attack. But Yoshidora is so good at converting when those opportunities are given to him. And now the Nair's off stage. Kameme trying to find his way back, and he won't.
Can you believe that Kameme took the first stock of that game, Nurse?
I mean,
it didn't look like it. It didn't feel like it.
It defies reason. It defies reason. It defies logic. And Yoshidora defies physics. As Kameme cannot find his way back to the stage. When's the last time you saw Sora get gimped starting at about 40%?
Wait, he defies physics? You're telling me that if I kick my feet around in the air, I won't hover for a long time and have armor?
I got bad news, brother.
I've been practicing, bro. That was my final jutsu.
I got bad news. Yoshidora, though, man, you have to be happy with how that game ended, and it looked practiced. It looked clean. Obviously familiar with the recovery patterns of Kameme and Sora and making full advantage of Yoshi's ability to pressure off stage. I'm so impressed, man.
Yeah, I hate to use the cliche of, oh, they're from the same country. Obviously, they play all the time, but I'm sure they've at least met in bracket a decent amount of times, right? There's definitely history between these two, so I feel like it's not going to be any surprises on either player's part. Sora and Yoshi, two kind of finicky characters when it comes to counterplay against them, right? You have to respect Yoshi's jump armor and quick escape options from combos. You got to respect Sora off the stage and at the ledge and all the ways in which he can keep himself safe, right? So, wow, okay. Matchup knowledge or not, that is going to work. Nair 1-2 into the up B. Kameme taking the first stock yet again, but let's see if he can actually convert that into a game win.
Absolutely, and we're seeing it right here that was pixel perfect. Yoshidora trying to go for the jump armor to get out of that combo, but Kameme just too good on the execution, and unfortunately for Kameme, only 6.5% onto Yoshidora by the end of that stock, evened right back up, and so no lead has a chance to be built at this point, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you take that first stock if you don't really make anything of it, right? You got to carve out some extra credit for yourself in order to be feeling good, feeling comfortable. Right now, this is still anyone's game. It's essentially even, especially when you take the weight of these two characters into account. Yoshi's much heavier than Sora. Every hit is going to mean so much more.
And we haven't actually seen a successful edgeguard attempt out of Kameme. We have seen one out of Yoshidora, and so that's where those early stocks come offline, or where those early stocks have a chance to happen. I really want to see Kameme find an opportunity to burn the double jump armor from Yoshi and then convert off of that hit as well.
Yeah, it's so tough, right? You have to do enough knockback to beat it out, or you got to wait for him to press a button, neither of which is all that easy. And yeah, the frame one escape option, it's so tough. But at least he's not overreaching, right? And trying to swing something that can be punished on hit. It looks like Kameme is in a position to take another consecutive stock here, but I don't know. Yoshi showing no signs of dying anytime soon. Never mind. Commentator's curse alive and well, folks.
The neutral air into the up B is what actually took most stocks this game, so Kameme very, very strong on that confirm, and already doing better than he did on the last stock, looking very, very good, but no jump online, and Yoshidora absolutely trying to pull the trigger on that offstage scenario.
Oh, trying to swing the back air, maybe catch a neutral get up or a jump from the ledge, but Yoshidora just holding off for the perfect amount of time. Okay, stage spike, but this is Sora Kingdom Hearts, everybody. He's coming back.
The up B into the side B, old reliable, but the up air out of shield to catch after the first hit of side B, and Kameme actually committed to the second hit. Such an interesting punish out of Yoshidora, but at 103%, this is definitely the biggest lead we've seen out of Kameme so far, and up smash is absolutely going to start killing.
Yeah, he just has to set up for that final blow, and that's so difficult against a character as mobile as Yoshi, right? And also with so many defensive escapes. You gotta respect Nair, you gotta respect double jump. So we'll see. Is Yoshidora going to pull off some kind of miraculous comeback? I don't think so. Yeah, that back air will finish it off. Such a great spacing tool from Sora. Really part of his bread and butter. And now we're tied up.
Yep.
One apiece between these two titans of Japan. Really happy to see both of them in the same building in North America, but a shame that they have to play each other.
Yeah, I think everyone has to be so excited to see that Yoshidora is in this position for his North American debut. I mean, it's just a treat to watch the guy play, watch the guy come out and do what he does with a character that we don't see at this level basically ever. Right. Right? And so I think it's a treat to see him here, but like you said, Kameme also absolutely a fan favorite with the Sora. It is too bad that they have to take each other out at this point in the bracket, but once you get into that top 8 contention, it's hard to avoid each other at that point. There's bound to be a tragedy along the way. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, very tough draw for these two, but of course, at least one of them is guaranteed to move on, right? That's the silver lining here. And we're going to see Battlefield as a stage for Game 3. I think this is personally really good for Sora, and I'm kind of surprised to see Yoshidora counterpick here. But obviously, far be it from my place to question this man's knowledge of Yoshi's stages and matchups. I'm sure there's a rhyme and reason for it. I think if I had to guess, the reason would be he has to use the double jump armor a lot to get out of those tight combos. He wants somewhere to go. Right. And so being able to retreat to that top platform after using the double jump armor allows him to put himself in a bit of a safer position after disengaging from those spots. And of course, both of these characters so dangerous aerially, right? We can see the Sharking come into play, both of them with phenomenal up airs. Even Sora's Nair can pressure from underneath platforms. Oh, wow. Double jump armor or not, that combo's going to go through for Kameme, and he's going to almost land the kill right there. Not quite. And the forward tilt ledge trap gets it done. Okay, suddenly this went from being pretty favored for Yoshidora after game 1 to a tight game 2, and game 3 Kameme is looking incredible. Such a fat lead, and Sora can run away, juice this really, really hard, and also his combo game makes Yoshidora have to think twice about every single approach. Yeah, Kameme's been doing such a good job at stuffing the approach options from Yoshidora, preemptively throwing out nairs or preemptively throwing out fairs to stop this Yoshi from getting in too close, and we're seeing it right now. The up airs, nowhere to go for Yoshidora but the ledge, and finally finding spot on the ground, disengaging with a jab, but Kameme is relentless right now. All right, how are you getting off this ledge? Okay, last time Kameme had the forward tilt waiting for him. This time, maybe a bit of a hesitation, a second guess perhaps.
Oh, and looking for the dirty stuff out of the freeze. Not quite going to happen. And still, we see Yoshidora with the stock intact. I don't know, though. At this point, this might be a go next angle, Nurse.
It's so hard against Sora. Once you start getting to that percent where up air just kills raw, it's so hard to hold onto the stock. Up air so active, so big. Sora able to throw it out in so many situations. And if you're trying not to get hit by up air, trying to play on the ground and do something a little bit unsafe, the up B is there just in case as well.
Sora's like this weird mix of Jigglypuff and Link. You know what I'm saying? He's got projectiles, he's got a sword, but he's also super floaty. He can chill off stage and really make you regret every single second you spend being in the deficit against him. So I think Kameme is in the winning position here. A little too early to call, but not really too early to call. You know, it's our job as casters to pretend that you have a chance when you're down 3 stocks to 1, but already at 97% with the way Kameme is playing too, I'm not loving the odds for this game 3 at least.
A really nice catch on the roll at the very least, so some confidence for the side of Yoshidora that he did not get 3 stock in this situation, but you are absolutely correct on that front. I've seen the comeback happen, I've seen miracles come to fruition, but not that often and not from this deep a deficit. But Yoshidora absolutely looking for those big plays. We saw him fiending for that forward air potentially off stage, trying to make the big play happen and knowing his win condition, but the back airs from Kameme just strong enough.
And you see one of Yoshi's greatest weaknesses right there, which is the lack of disjointed hitboxes.
Yep.
There are some, don't get me wrong, not every single pixel of his hitboxes is attached to his body, but when the back airs were going head to head, for example, you got a big old Keyblade. There's no contest, right? And swords have typically been a thorn in the side of Yoshi mains for years and years throughout all iterations of Smash. This one being no exception. We'll see. Yoshidora, I mean, he's a dedicated solo main, right? So there's no switching. It's just he has to come up with a new game plan, figure something out, and see if it's good enough to get through Kameme.
Another particularly challenging thing about Sora for Yoshi is how long a lot of Sora's hitboxes last. Compared to the other sorties in the game, Sora's hitboxes linger for a very significantly longer amount of time, which makes them harder to weave around for Yoshi because you have to be worried about the activity of the hitbox for so much longer, and we've seen that come into play a couple of times now as Yoshidora gets Kameme at the ledge and is fiending again for some sort of off-stage play that we haven't seen since the first game.
Oh wow, so slick, just barely getting to the ledge at a slight angle without having to poke his head above it. Kameme making sure, he knows Yoshidora loves going for those spikes, right? So avoid that at all costs. And once again, it looks like he's off on the right foot here in game 4. It would be crazy to see Yoshidora's run end at 7th. There were so many eyes on him coming into this tournament, right? His first North American performance, but this is a guy who likes to rise to the occasion too. I think he's still got some gas in the tank.
And the players of this level, you can never count them out. Until it says game, until the 3 games are on the screen, you can never count it out. But Kameme, I mean, he's been here before. He's been to North America how many times at this point? He's risen to the occasion how many times at this point? This is a guy that we know to perform in these situations, and he absolutely has been. Yoshidora, though, the first sign of life, the first real sign of life we've had since that first game, and a stock taken fairly early, and the damage could have come in a little bit more there.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Sora didn't go high enough for the second up air to connect. Not only is he a light character, but also the low hitbox on Yoshi's up air is crazy. Wait a second, what?
Thunder,
the Thunder?
The third hit of Thunder killed at 90%. Yoshidora caught maybe asleep at the wheel off stage, but that is such a boon for Kameme to close out this game 4.
All right, favorites aside, seeding aside, it's looking like Kameme is about to pull this one off. You just have to play better in that span of 3 to 5 games, right? So that's why upsets happen. It's very possible, especially with a huge combo like that to start off Yoshidora's last stock, already building 60% of extra credit. He had just about the same on the first stock of this game. So I don't know. How do you figure this one out? Wow, dodging the up smash, somehow already entering his tech roll or missed tech roll animation.
Yeah, that was so fast, and Yoshidora actually seemed ready to convert off of that situation, but somehow unable to land the up smash and unable to take that stock, and that's a heartbreaker if you're Yoshidora, because that would have done it.
Oh, the Thunder Pillar's poking through the stage as Kameme just burns time. He's gonna go to the other side, avoid the ledge trap, comes back on with the Blizzard, and suddenly it's starting to feel over.
there's still a chance. There's always still a chance as the back air comes out. Kameme working his way back to the ledge and using that very ambiguous recovery to make sure that Yoshidora is unable to set up the egg, the ledge, and the fire. Able to interrupt the back air coming out from Yoshidora, and now at 125%, that DI was not, it was not good.
Yeah, he was combo DIing the last hit of forward, or neutral air. Or fair, I already forgot which one it was.
It was fair.
It was fair? All right, cool. I was right the first time. Oh, that's going to do it. The 2 nairs into the up air. Nice and simple for Kameme. And you're going to see that North American, that traveling experience really come into play here, right? Back at home, Yoshidora is probably favorite to take it. Not by a whole lot, but by a little bit. And yeah, Kameme, I mean, he's done this rodeo, he's done this dance so many times, and there's just an adjustment period, right? So we're certainly going to see more of Yoshidora here on this continent. No doubt about it. And you know what? Next time he might be a little bit more prepared for the environment. But for now, it's all about Kameme. He's going to move on into the top 6 here at Battle of BC. Now, we started with 5 Japanese representatives in the top 8, and we're down to 4.
Yeah, but
there's no way around it for this match.
4 in the top 6,
yeah,
which is
exactly.
insane.
That's a better ratio than 5 out of 8.
It's more impressive.
Yep.
And, you know, Japan just showing up huge this tournament, and Kameme, a huge win at, like we said, arguably the most stacked tournament of all time. So many people that we expected to see in top 8, and as we get into the top 6 side of things, Kameme, not necessarily who you expected to be here.
Right, and you were talking about kind of the peaks and valleys of his time in Ultimate, right? Obviously, he started off very strong, a legacy player from Smash 4, an EVO finalist in Smash 4 as well, very worth noting. But, you know, people started to figure out Mega Man, he started trying other characters, Wario, Sheik, even a Yoshi of his own, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely had one in Smash 4. But when Sora came out, that's when something really clicked for him, and it also feels like he's been more motivated to grind and to lab. Like, you don't play Mega Man without being a very practice-oriented player.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be so precise. I think Sora is that as well, but with even more reward.
Yeah, it's something that the high execution or the high kind of lab rat players have been really leaning towards, and Kameme in particular has been gravitating to that Sora, and we've seen some of the more technical stuff come out from him. You know, he gets those nair to fair trains more often than other players. He gets those conversions more often than other players, and we talked about how at the start of that, if those were not frame tight, Yoshidora would have been able to jump out of them.
Yeah, exactly. One of the few characters with a legitimate frame 1 escape from hit stun, right? You always got to be dotting your I's, crossing your T's.